Good morning and welcome to my daily broadcast on money habits. My name is Joannazarach and I broadcast every day at 10 a.m. I'll talk to you about developing better money habits to ensure that you're on your way to financial independence. And today's Friday, and so Friday I talk about fees, the various fees. And today I want to talk about the fee you pay when you don't plan in advance. What is it that I mean? Obviously that there are, you can't plan everything in advance, right? There's always things that come up that you have to take care of it. But if you've been kind of in your, whether it's your work life, whether it's your family situation, like, if you're married or you have kids, like after a while you figure out like what is the cadence of your life, right? Like when you move to a new city, it's going to take you a while, right? But if you've been at your current situation for maybe a year or two, start looking ahead and start thinking ahead and saying, what is it that I'm going to need to buy or need to purchase, whether it's services or items, and think about like when is the most advantageous time for me to pay. And that's kind of the the push to get financially independent, even at a small scale, is to free up some of your cash to take advantage of it, right? Because that's the virtuous cycle. If you have the money, right? If you save up the money and then you have the money to purchase things when they're lower cost, then you're going to have more of that money to keep, right? So it's like you've got to build on that. And so I'll maybe give you a couple of examples. One is like very pertinent for me. So my kids they go to summer camp. And last year they went to it, so they're going to go to it again. And so the place that we sign them up sends us a brochure and says, if you sign up for summer camp that starts in June, if you plan it out and you sign up by the end of this year, so I got 2 more weeks, we'll give you 15% off. Right? That's huge, right? It doesn't sound like a lot, it's just 15%, but it's a big ticket item for us. So if I don't take the time to like calendar it and plan it out, I'm going to miss out on it, because at the end of the day, my kids need to go somewhere for the summer, and so you're going to have to pay for it. So that's like an example of something where if you know you're going to spend the money, if you put yourself in a situation where you can spend that money ahead of time. And they take like half for deposit and then half in May. So again, you've got to be able to create a situation where you can take advantage of those things, because then you'll keep more money in your bottom line. Another thing for planning, like if like always just think about like, what are my potential, or vacation is another thing, right? If you know you want to take a vacation, right? Like think about it and say, well, what is it that I want to do? Where does it want to go? And how can I create like the same experience for less money, right? Does it look for flights? Nowadays with technology, so much access to be able to plan. The other thing is like making sure you don't forget. So this is like short-term planning or just reminders. Like one of the things I try to do is like avoid, automate what you can. But if I'm planning to pay for something, like I'll put it in my calendar so I don't miss the deadlines. So be it like real estate tax bill, where it's like if you miss the deadline, it's like it's a penalty that's already set. If you are, I put it in my Wonderlist. If you don't use it, it's an app, it's free. It's a really great app that's easy to use. And like I'll put reminders on it, and it like emails me or goes ding, like remind yourself of things you need to take care of when you'll have the time, right? So some people may be doing those things on the weekends, maybe one evening, maybe you designate stuff. So instead of like trying to go through and saying, oh, what was I supposed to do? Use the tools to help you take care of it. So that's the kind of the fee that you pay. And again, fees are all the things that the money that goes out of your pocket that doesn't bring you any extra experience or joy, right? So anytime you're overpaying, you're paying penalties. Again, figure out what you want in life. How can you free up the cash to have the flexibility to do it? And then, play your cards out when the cost is lower. And I can tell you that, like, at the end of the year, when you're kind of looking at your expenses and you say, wow, like there are 3 things that I can point to where planning to pay for it, you knew you were going to do it, plan to do it, take advantage of it, and you're going to keep that extra money, right? So that you create another, again, you're expanding your your cash flow, you're expanding your ability, your access to money, so that you can take advantages of those things. And the earlier you do it, and again, you start small. It's okay to, you've got to become 1,000 there before you become a millionaire, right? Like you've got to make sure you have a mindset to say, look, I'm going to hold on to my money. I'm going to hold on to it through however I can, without totally depriving yourself. You don't have to just not have those experiences. Just figure out what you want, figure out when is the best time to pay for it, and with a lowest cost, and then keep the remaining money. And so always have that. So make sure you plan. So not just the financial plan, but plan on taking advantages of those things ahead of time, because you want to avoid sort of overpaying for things when you're doing like just in time or just in case. So anyway, thank you again for everybody who joined today. I broadcast every day at 10 a.m. Central Time, and I talk about money habits, developing better money habits, money management, money mindset, answer your questions as well about money, all things money, because I do want more people to take action to get on the road to financial independence, and I want to share with you everything that I've learned over the last 20 years. So if you're following me, thank you so much. And if not, and you want more of this content, swipe right on Apple or up on Android, and just click on my name and follow. And again, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow.